You know what, Molly, even since the top of the newscast, the snow is picking up really intensely. I'm having a hard time even seeing the camera. The visibility is really dropping. The snow is arriving right on time. No restrictions right now at Snoqualmie Pass. Traction tires are advised at Stevens and White Passes, so a heads up there. Roads bare and wet for now, but as snow ramps up in the next couple of hours, conditions are really going to deteriorate. People need to get used to this kind of weather because having a La Niña winter could mean very cold temps and the potential for lots of snow.
I love it and I'm ready for it. Bring it on.
La Niña is back and she's making her presence known. Snow is already blanketing the ski slopes and forests along Snoqualmie Pass and making a real mess for drivers this weekend.
Back it up a little bit and slow down. Don't be in a hurry to get anywhere. You know, life's too short.
What do you like about snow?
Playing in it and making snowballs to throw at people.
People we talked to say they're hoping for lots of snow this winter, especially after a brutal heat and raging wildfires over the summer.
Well, we need a good snowpack because where I'm from in Walla Walla, we get lots of fires.
I think a lot of West Coasters had so much anxiety over the lack of precipitation.
I'd rather have the water later than no snow during the wintertime.
You may remember La Niña gave us an epic snowpack last year, and while we're expecting more of the same this winter, there will be a few differences. Local research shows that the second back-to-back La Niña is noticeably cooler and wetter for the first part of the season, from October to December. Even though January onward may still be chilly and wet, that trend might not be as strong.
We're getting an early start to the winter. Maybe it'll fade a little sooner than it often does during La Niña.
Washington State climatologist Dr. Nick Bond says he shudders to think about what this last summer would have looked like without our hefty snowpack to start.
We use that mountain snowpack as an effective reservoir to get us through the dry summer.
It was very, very windy.
I was really scanning the area to make sure something wasn't going to catch us by surprise.
I really thought that for a little bit, that this is an error. You know, that can't be here.
It wasn't an error, and it did happen here. Parts of Kitsap County experienced a rare tornado warning earlier today as a storm system moved across western Washington, bringing heavy rain, hail, and pretty ferocious winds.
And the threat of bad weather isn't over yet either. On the KOMO radar, you can still see a lot of precipitation across the region. All of that will fall as rain in the lowlands, but it could turn to snow in the Cascade Mountain passes.
We have team coverage tonight, including meteorologist Abby Aconi at Snoqualmie Pass and meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell with the updated forecast. But we start with KOMO's Keith Eldridge live in Kitsap County with some tense moments today. Keith?
Yeah, we're live here in Silverdale, which was the center point of all this concern. Now, when people's phones went off, alerting them to a possible tornado, a lot of people didn't believe it. And then came all the heavy rains and hail the size of peas.
Thunder.
The hail came in a hurry and with a roar. The volatile storm was sweeping across the Kitsap Peninsula, and the Weather Service said it had all the hallmarks of spawning a tornado. Phones went off like crazy, with a tornado warning going out to everyone in the area.
And it said, take cover if you're in a car. Find a place to take cover in. If you're in a trailer, find a better building to be in.
But apparently a lot of people didn't take it seriously.
When the warning came through and I didn't believe it.
And I got a warning on my phone, and Lauren said there's no tornadoes here. It can't be right.
I'm from Texas, and I just said there aren't tornadoes here. So, and it was very, very windy. But I had no idea that there were tornadoes in this part of the world.
They do happen here, but by 12:15, the threat was over. No tornado, but plenty of rain and water overwhelming the drainage systems, causing flooded streets. Paul Flint and his partner from Kitsap Public Works quickly were out trying to clear the drains of all the leaves that had clogged things up. Work that had to wait until after the all clear was given. What did you do when they said shelter in place?
We hid behind a building and we took a break, and we just hid in a nice safe spot behind a docking building. So we hid behind some cinder blocks and a wall and just held out for the best.
See anything at all?
No, we didn't see anything, just a lot of wind branches, and obviously rain and storm drains.
Mary, the vast majority of the meeting, it highlighted budget priorities championed by Councilmember Strauss, as well as how current investments are working out. By the time that they did take up the questions, well, most focused on encampments and returning Ballard Commons to the community. A string of break-ins or vandalized businesses is becoming all too commonplace in Ballard. So are the fires and dead bodies discovered in the encampments. Councilmember Dan Strauss says his budget amendments can address this.
Behavioral health and community safety, it's really important that we're able to not only meet people in crisis, that we're going to be talking about the mobile crisis team, but then we're able to ensure that they're stabilized.
The town hall spent more than 2 hours on department presentations before the public's questions were presented, and Strauss began by explaining the next steps at Ballard Commons.
Once we've navigated people into shelter, we'll be closing the park for remediation. And then at some point in this next year, we will also be installing that children's playground.
In line with that was a question about how to handle a potentially dangerous double-decker RV that reappeared.
And now that it's going back up, we've asked the vehicle outreach team to go back out and have that contact with that person.
Neighbors say some campers won't accept help from the city and choose to keep living in their tents, but the town hall panelists say it's because we're not understanding their needs.
For folks who are living in vehicles, we offer them shelter, but that shelter does not have a place for them to park their car.
Concerns about rampant crime also got a response.
I think it's important that we continue funding the positions for police officers to be able to focus on the crime.
In terms of the budget talks, Strauss wants to spend $14 million on a crisis center to offer a short-term fix for mental health issues that play out on city streets.
Hi, everyone. I'm Preston Phillips from KOMO News. Thanks for checking out the KOMO YouTube channel. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for more news from the Seattle area and Western Washington. Oh, and don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't miss our YouTube updates.